Cameroon played out a 2-2 draw against L3 of Mexico when the sides went head-to-head. Of course, at the stadium in San Diego on June 11th. So they've not really won the games heading up to this qualifiers for the international window. So as a result, the Indomitable Lions are now without a win in 4 consecutive games across all competitions since beating Congo in the African Cup of Nations Championship. So we are waiting to see what Rigobert Song can bring to the table. A lot have reservations about his technical and tactical know-how, but joining us in this conversation today will be a Cameroonian football commentator, Valentine Bambot, all the way from Biu, Cameroon. Thank you so much, Valentine, for joining us on In the Game.
Thank you all so very much. It's always a pleasure.
All right, it's a pleasure to have you. I know it's a make or mat situation between the Indomitable Lions and, of course, Burundi. It's an open group. So whoever gets the win today have a chance to get the ticket to the African Cup of Nations. But we have the advantage of Cameroon, the Indomitable Lions, being at home, the return of Andre Onana. For them, they've been conceding a lot of goals without Andre Onana. But Andre Onana returns after an exile from the World Cup. Rigobert Song, Andre Onana, made up at the training. And we have a glimpse of hope that maybe today they can go a clean sheet. What are your expectations with Cameroon being at home in support of the fans?
I expect the Lions to take full charge of the game because, like you did mention, they have very good players. They have the experience in the squad, and they have all it takes to win tonight's game against Burundi, the Swallows of Burundi. If you look at the stats, they speak in favor of Cameroon, a nation that has been to the World Cup 8 times. They are looking for their 21st AFCON appearance. If you put them side by side, Burundi, you will see that the stats speak for them. Burundi has never made it to the World Cup. They have been to just one AFCON. And during that particular AFCON, they did not make it past the group stages of the competition. But we're talking about a country that has gone through to win the AFCON a record 5 times, the second most successful nation on the continent, and a country that has also gone on to make history, not just on the continent, but also at the world stage. So the stats speak for Cameroon. And like I was telling your colleague the other day on this same platform, when Cameroon has their back against the wall, that's when you see the Lions roaring the most. That happens for the World Cup, during the World Cup qualifiers against Algeria. I watched the game at the stadium in Japoma, Douala. The Lions were completely outclassed. They lost against Algeria. And when they went over to Algeria to play the return leg, many persons saw them losing that game. They were already losing that game, if not for that last gaps from Karl Toko Ekambi. So those are the circumstances, or that is the same circumstance where the Indomitable Lions find themselves. But it's football. You can always have surprises coming in from here and there.
Surprises, but I'm hoping that the fans will not be surprised today at the Cameroon Stadium. We know of a lot having reservations about the technical and tactical know-how of Rigobert Song. There are calls that he should be sacked and leave the national team because he is not giving them the results expected. Now, Rigobert Song, in his pre-match heading up to this encounter, says that they are not afraid. They are not afraid of Burundi and are confident. He's so confident that his squad can go all out against the Burundians today. But we should not just overlook the Burundians. We should be wary of what they can bring to the table. Cameroon has got a fire squad in the person of Vincent Abubakar. And they've got Toko Ekambi, Maxine Choupo-Moting returns once again, and Andre Onana. Do you share reservations about this Rigobert Song's technical know-how with a lot that are calling for his resignation as a national team head coach?
Yes, I to some extent, because when you see a coach playing the game, you expect to see a play style. What do you expect to see from the players? How do you expect these players to express themselves on the green turf? We've not seen that with Coach Rigobert Song since he took charge. And you did mention the team has been conceding too many goals. They've conceded in their last 17 games. You're just talking about that. They won just 5, lost 7, and drew 5. that doesn't speak well for the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. Yes, it is true they have a firing squad. Vincent Abubakar has been scoring without season for Besiktas. A player like Brian Biomo is one of the top goal scorers now in the EPL, plays for Brentford. And Choupo-Moting as well, who is coming in. But at the back, how do you coordinate the players at the back? Cameroon has been conceding so many goals. It means the defenders are not properly doing their jobs well. And it also starts from the midfield. Yes, an experienced player like Andre Frank Zambo-Anguissa is there to organize the midfield. But in my opinion, he's not found the best pair at the midfield. A player like Umgwet, I've never been impressed with the way he plays at the midfield. So there is need for the coach to bring in another tactical know-how for Cameroon to
I'm
keep
sorry,
the ball.
Bambot. I'm sorry to butt in, Bambot. That is the reason why I'm asking. He's got a lot of firepower, and he has not been able to use them in the needed position. And that is why a lot are saying, if you've got a lot at your disposal, you should be able to use them. That is why they doubt his tactical and technical know-how, that he has not been able to use these ammunitions in the right way. Sango Agosa, Maxim Choupo-Moting, Vincent Abubakar, you've got a lot, and you've also got a record-breaking goalkeeper. But the coach has not been able to use them in the right position to get the desired result. Don't you think the reservations coming from the fans should stand?
That's where his Waterloo is coming from. But, you need to give the coach time. We can't keep hiring and sacking coaches, and that's exactly what the president of the Cameroon Football Federation has been saying. Because if you look at the records, they tell you that a coach comes to the national team for Cameroon and doesn't stay long. But if you give a coach a project, he's going to work with time. Do
you think it's because of the relationship? Do you think because of the relationship, I'm sorry to butt in, the relationship with the Cameroonian Fecafoot president and the coach? Because we know that cordial relationship between Samuel Eto'o and Rigobert Song.
The relationship exists. Yes, they played together, but right now we're talking about professionalism, and I think Samuel is trying to be professional because it is not just about Song being his friend, it's about allowing the coach to work. How much time was Aliou Cissé given in Senegal? He was given years to build the team, and he didn't get it the first time. The second time he didn't get it, but we saw Senegal lifting the AFCON trophy when they came to Cameroon a few months, should I say, few years back. I saw how the coach he was given that confidence, was given that opportunity to express himself. Yes, Song is taking a little bit more time to do that, and he has, yes, the experienced players in the squad, but let's give him the time. That's the point.
I'm wondering how much time we can give to Rigobert Song. There's just one ticket to get today. So if you want to give him the time, will you lose out on the possibility of being at the 2024 African Cup of Nations?
He is known for winning big games because it's the same thing that happened against Algeria. I tell you, if Song had lost the game against Australia, against Algeria, there are many persons who could have called for his head on a stick. But he went on to win that game against Algeria, against all odds. Remember, the Cameroon got the last gap, the last minute goal to qualify. And also, if he had lost against Brazil, then there would have been another opportunity for him to lose his job. But he won against Brazil. That was a record for Cameroon. So this is another opportunity for him to prove himself. And I'm sure he's going to do that against Burundi at the Rumde Aja Stadium.
All right, we'll be crossing our fingers. But the Burundians are also not resting. They have a chance to make it ahead of Cameroon because it's an open group at this time because of the draws both teams have had in their encounter, in that Group C encounter for the African Cup of Nations. But do you also see Burundi giving the Cameroonians a run for their money, the Indomitable Lions a run for their money?
Yes, I see Burundi putting up a tough fight. I was listening to the captain speaking the other day, and he said they are also not afraid. So Rigobert Song, the coach, is saying they are not afraid, and the captain of the squad is saying they are also not afraid. So it's going to be quite a tough game for Indomitable Lions because we have a team of players who are very determined. The Burundi squad is experience also mixed with youthfulness. We have a player like Bonfils Caleb, who plays for Al Ali Benghazi. Such a talented player, has been scoring for them. Their midfielder, Hussein Shabani, also very much experienced, 32 years old. And
Valentine, don't you think that's why you should be scared for the indomitable Lions?
Yes, I'm not totally confident the Lions are going to win, but what I'm sure of is that they're going to put up a good show today. And the captain of the Burundi squad did say there are going to be goals. So we expect to see at least 3 goals scored in today's game. I don't expect a very close game from either side. I expect to see them express themselves. But in the end, I really, really hope Cameroon would grab the victory today.
All right, they've got the favor and the presence of the 12th man. I'm hoping that they get that at home today in Cameroon. All right, let's hear your predictions. What do you think the scoreline will end up to be?
Yes, the Runde Aja Stadium is already sold out. So with the 12-man support coming in, I see Cameroon winning by 2-1.
All right, we hold you for your word. Thank you so much, Valentine Bambot, football commentator from Cameroon, having to break down and preview that game. Last African Cup of Nations qualifiers game in Group C between Cameroon and the Burundians. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.
Thank you very much for having me.